Welcome to Much Ado About Drama. This video is for student actors, and it's just my top 5 audition tips from a drama teacher straight to you on how to best prepare for auditions and show up with great confidence. Let's get started. Number 1 is to do your homework. You need to actually read the play or watch the musical, listen to the musical. If you are watching it, I think that's fine because plays and musicals are meant to be watched. They're written not just to be read, but to be watched. But you don't want to get so set in how that version of it did it. So try to just watch it for information purposes. And then with plays, it can sometimes be good to just read the play, but not getting so in your head like, oh, I have to do it the way this actor did, because you want to do it the way you do as an actor. But what doing your homework does is it helps you learn about what's going on in the play. So whatever audition material you might get, you're going to understand where it comes in the play and what is actually going on behind it. So it can lead to much better work because you are actually in the know about what's going on. It can also help you identify which characters are the most relatable to you personally, which characters maybe are the most in your vocal range. Just, give you an idea of what characters you might want to go for. I will say a little caveat with that. Try not to get super set on just one character. It's great to be realistic and say, okay, this character fits well in my vocal range, all of that. That's good practical advice. But try to stay more open and be open to whatever the director thinks you might fit in, because you might be surprised. You might think, oh, I fit in one character, and then you end up in another one. So that's another good part about doing your homework is you have a sense of all the characters, right? Okay. Number 2, select audition material that you really, truly, deeply connect with. Because if you select something that you don't really care that much about and that you think is boring, you're not going to want to really do your homework and spend the time delving into it and doing it over and over and over again, which is kind of what we end up doing when we're preparing for an audition. A lot of people talk about not doing overused material where, it's likely that someone is picking the same material. Maybe the directors are seeing it repeatedly. And listen, like long term, yes, it is good to find material that is a little more rare, maybe not from Wicked or Hamilton, right? But the most important thing, especially when you're a student actor and learning in the process, is to pick something you connect with. And sometimes, even if something's overdone, it's popular for a reason, right? And people like it for a reason. And maybe you can start with material like that On My Own from Les Mis, right? People like it for a reason, people connect to it. And maybe you use that to say, okay, I like this type of song. I like this type of like yearning that the character has. And then you end up taking that and finding a similar song in a musical like Dogfight or Daddy Longlegs, where the material's less done, but there's some songs that are in a similar range and have a similar character trajectory. Tip number 3, read all the audition material beforehand and really study it. So see what information they're giving, such as rehearsal schedule, production dates, all of those things. And when you are filling out your audition forms, make sure you're being very thorough. You've already done your homework, and then you've actually checked your calendar. You've checked with your parents if you're younger, who might know when appointments are and stuff. If you're older, you're checking your own calendar, right? But you're making sure that you're reporting all conflicts and that you are asking any questions you need to ask to make sure that you're able to be accurate on that. Because before you're even stepping into the audition room, it helps to A, show you're prepared, and B, just be honest about it. Because believe me, if you get cast to something and then there's conflicts you didn't report, they're either going to ask you to like not go to that thing, and then you're stuck between, oh, do I go to my appointment or not? And do I have to reschedule? Sometimes it's very difficult having to miss rehearsal when you said you were going to be there, which is not good. Okay. As directors, we really make the whole rehearsal schedule based off what people say is on their conflicts. And so you don't want to be doing that on any kind of regular basis as an actor. Okay. Tip number 4, make sure on the actual audition day that you are preparing both physically and mentally. And so, preparedness, what are the things you physically need? So if there's a dance call, do you have all your clothes and shoes there? Do you have a water bottle? Do you have a good snack that is apple or some kind of fruit that is good for your voice? Apples are just a good one actually to help. It doesn't like coat your throat weird or anything, so it can be a good little snack that doesn't mess with your voice. Some kind of snack that works well with your voice where you're not going to get shaky or feel like, oh no, I didn't eat anything. And then you also want to warm up physically. Okay. So even if you feel silly, you need to do a warm up of some kind. For vocal audition, you need to make sure your voice, you fully warmed up the full range or even past the full range of the song that you're going to do. Even just for acting warm ups, monologues, the same thing. You want to get your articulation work going. You want to practice breath. And then for any audition, I'd say you want to do some deep belly breathing. That's going to get you into the physical space that you should be in when you're actually doing the audition, like the type of breath you should be doing. I'll make sure to go over belly breaths in another video in more detail. But it also can relax you and put you in a focused headspace. Because when we're going to do an audition, oftentimes we're getting a lot of adrenaline, our body's starting to think we're in fight or flight. And you need to intentionally tell your body to relax, that you are okay, that you are safe, so that you can focus on the actual audition, right? And then tip number 5 is when you go into your audition, really fully go for it with confidence, okay? Even if you make a mistake, you forget something, whatever, just say thank you at the end. Don't apologize. Don't apologize. Listen, we're there, we're rooting for you. We want it to go well for you. And especially if you're a student auditioning, directors are very understanding. So you don't need to apologize. Just say thank you for the audition. But hopefully you've done all your homework, all of those things. There's no major mistake that's made. And you want to go in, stand nice and tall, do your slate or introduction. So my example I always give, hello, my name is Katie Zakek, and I'll be singing I Can't Say No from Oklahoma. So you're saying your name nice and clear, the title of your piece. If it's from a play doing a monologue, you want to say the title of the play and the author. From a musical, if you're doing a song, you're going to say the title of the song and then what show it's from. But whatever it is, you're walking in confidently, you're smiling, you're having a nice little conversation with the audition panel, and then you're giving a nice thank you at the end. If you found any of this helpful, I also have a free audition materials guide that you can download, and that will also sign you up for my newsletter where I'll be sharing regular tips and trips for both acting and auditions. Happy auditioning and break a leg.